south of Germany comes hip hop producer Superior. He just released a new album with Che Noir entitled Seeds in Babylon, and it's making its rounds. It's gotten incredible coverage because of the atmospheric production and Che Noir's storytelling. Let's bring in Superior and talk to him about his production and what he's got coming next. Peace,
Yeah,
Superior. It's an honor to have you on the Cristopolis show, my bro. You've been making bangers now for years and keeping the underground fans fed, but you just dropped a new project with
yeah,
Che Noir entitled Seeds in Babylon, an incredible soundscape that you designed for that album. Talk to us about this project, Seeds in Babylon.
yeah. Thanks so much for your feedback for this album. And what I want to say is that yeah, it was a big wish, to work with Che Noir
Yeah.
because I think she's one of the best lyricists in the world. And it now depends if it's male, female, it doesn't matter. She is one of the best lyricists, and yeah, it was my wish to work with her. And yeah, when I make an album, I try to make a dope concept, and I was hearing this gospel and this soul and everything, with this style on this album. Then I created this soundscape. Yeah,
It's amazing. It's beautiful how, you know, it's not just a collection of singles. It is an album where you've created a feeling. There's a vibe with this album that you described, with some of the gospel, but there's also
yeah,
samples in there, right, where they talk about Babylon and it's I love those types of movies too, like Alexander and all those movies from back in the day,
yeah,
and where they talk about, the being in Babylon,
mm,
and so
yeah,
it's one of those things where you pull those samples out to create, not only the music but also this underlying theme
yeah.
of Babylon. How did the conversation happen? Take us behind the scenes and the creative process where you wanted to work with Che Noir. She's amazing. Once that
Mhm.
happened, how did you guys start to design
Mhm.
Seeds in Babylon?
Okay. First of all, I want to ask you something, because I talked to some people, and I said that I'm now, with you live on IG, and can they see on my profile that I'm live with you now?
Yeah,
Okay, so when they go to on my page and they see, okay, he's live, and then they go
yeah,
and okay,
yeah.
yeah, okay. I just want to be sure that okay, then I think they will tune in, and yeah, everything is fine. So okay, the conversation was very, very, yeah, was nice. It was the normal way how it is when you work with somebody from overseas. Um, and yeah, I wrote her like a message on Instagram, and then yeah, I introduced myself, and then I showed her my work, and yeah, and then she said, okay, let's do something, and then she came with
She
this
listened
com
to the
with
production
this.
and she was like, okay, yeah. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think she was on my profile on Spotify, and she made a she made a research
Yeah.
of my music, and then she was listening to my projects, and yeah, and then yeah, then she gave me her phone number because it's always important to talk to the artist,
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know the best thing is to see each other, but I'm in Europe, and it's a little bit,
The times, yeah.
yeah, not just the times, but to take a flight and go there, and sometimes it's not so easy. And but we talked on phone. It's very important to me to talk to the artists, and yeah, and then she came with this Babylon, and then I thought, oh, yeah, I think I have something great for this topic, for the seats in Babylon. Yeah, then I came with this soundscape. Yeah.
That's awesome. And the way that you work in creating this type of soundscape, so oftentimes producers will send like beat packs, but this is not a beat pack type of
Mm.
album. This is a
No,
beautifully designed album that you've put together. How do those conversations happen for like a song like Destiny Rose, for instance?
mm,
You know, how does she communicate like I've got this idea and how do you create, how does that magic happen?
mm. Yeah. Uh, I have to say it always, always that I never send the beat pack. I never send the beat pack because I have to discuss with the artist what is the topic. What is the title of the album? What is what we want to represent in the album, and then make something specific. Specific for this topic, for this concept. And but like I said, I never sent the beat pack. I never. You know, I wanted that the people they get this soundscape what they need for that topic then, and yeah. So
And as the songs start to come together, does that help you
mm,
with like the next, like how does the putting it together part of it come
yeah,
come off? Yeah, because it's got an intro, outro,
yeah.
the interludes. The whole thing is, like an
When you
opera.
when you work and you started to record, they record, and then the artists, and then they send you the files, and then you listen to the lyrics, and what is about, what is the song about. And then then I start to make some, also some interludes and intro outros to make it like if like if a movie starts and you are in a cinema, and it's open first and then it's closed, it's like all this feeling, I wanna give the people this feeling that they watch like a movie,
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
a whole
So
format. It takes the listener on a journey.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's
I
great.
wonder, yeah. I want to make like movies,
Yeah,
like soundtrack, like movies, and this is how a dope album should sound.
yeah,
It's not like when I listen to albums. Sometimes I have the feeling I'm not listening to an album. I'm listening to a compilation, or to, what I mean, to
yeah.
just
Like a playlist.
like a
Somebody's playlist.
yeah, like a playlist, and the songs they don't have nothing to do with other songs. It's like something like a playlist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. What, for the listeners, the
Mm,
fans of your production, fans of hip hop, fans of Che Noir, what type of musical influences, producers have influenced you, and where have you grabbed this kind of identity in putting albums together?
mm,
What influences have inspired you?
mm. I would say my biggest inspiration was RZA from Wu-Tang. How he picked, those vocal samples, and how he chopped it, and how he worked with the samples, and it's incredible, because in my opinion, the technique, to make a beat is, it's okay, if you got a good technique, but first of all, you have to, you need a good ear to dig this dope samples, know how to chop it and to flip it, and that's more important, to have this good ear and not just to have this technique.
Yeah, yeah. Can you talk to us about your style? Like
Mm,
how you got this style that you're where you're at today, because it's been an evolution. You've been in
mm,
the game now, for well over a decade. You've worked with some of the biggest names in hip hop, Che
mm,
Noir, the new album, but you've worked with Ito, you've worked with Estee Nack, you've worked with, uh, Cristopolis. You've worked with some of the biggest names in hip hop, Che Noir, the new album, but you've worked with Ito, you've worked with Estee Nack, you've worked with, Estee Nack, you've worked with,
Stove God Cooks.
Soul God, you know what I mean? Like big artists. And then other artists, other artists that maybe aren't as big, but they have got the talent. And you have found them and you're looking for the talent. It's not just about the name,
Mm,
but you've developed a style over many years now of production. Can you
mm,
talk to us how you've arrived at this style?
mm. Yeah, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Track 49 and Jules, one of my best homies from our city here. You know, they're here, and just want to give them a shout out, and all the others they're watching now, but I can't see the other names. So, but hey, so very dope that you watching this now. So okay, our artist, they a real artist, he makes like three progresses. Okay, so three. The first is imitate your greats. Yeah, everybody started like imitating. Then emulate, put something from your own in this together, and then innovate, make something new. And that's how I started. When I started to make music, I was like like imitating, all this
Yeah.
typical boom bap stuff. And when I made the album The Journey, and my instrumental album The Scenes, and then with the album with Verbal Can, from Ugly Heroes, that was the first time when I emulate, put something, of my stuff. And then the first album that was like the introduction in this movement, in this with all this people that like Stove God, ST Neck, Rome Streets, all these people. My introduction was Long Story Short with Ito,
Yeah.
and that was like I made like a innovate. I was like innovate this thing, and that was really my style then. Yeah.
And what's the moment for you where you had like the aha, like, oh, this is my sound? Is
Yeah.
that Ito album?
Yes, that was the Ito album. Yeah, because before I made this Ito album, I also made this typical boom bap stuff, and yeah, because to learn the basics, to learn how to, how to how to use the machine, and I learned the basics. And when I made the album with Ito, that was my first, own sound, and my first, project with my own soundscape. Yeah, that
So
was, and it was at that time. I had a feeling, okay, something happens here, because then when I made this album, all those people, they followed me. Then bomb, so many followers, and all of you, they wrote me like messages. Hey, let's work. Hey, let's do something together. Hey, blah 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 blah. And before that, it was not so this reaction compared with the album with Ito. This was the first, yeah, when all the people, yeah, they wrote me messages, and it was crazy. Yes, that was the start. Yeah,
and that helped
the
kind
real
of
start.
confirm you in that sound too. You're like, oh, this is good. This sound is working.
Yeah, yeah, but it's not like I always have to say that I don't care about numbers. I don't care about names. I'm not a cloud chaser. I'm fuck all that. I'm making music, from my heart, and so if there's just a few people listen to my music, it's all good. I make them happy, so I can make also just three people happy, or 1,000 or 1 million, but it doesn't matter, because I'm a real artist. I'm a real artist, and I make it from the heart, and not just for the money, or just for but yeah. So but the goat I would say that the good people, yeah, they have a little bit of more fame, or they're a little more well known because they mature, they have more experience, and yeah, that's why I work, with those people like Stove God or Che Noir, because Yeah, because I only work with the best, you know.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that's really interesting is that when we go through your discography, you've worked with many of the best lyricists at the moment, and for the ones that I'm less familiar with, it makes me trust you as a producer. I'm like, well, if you worked with Estee Nack and Ito and Che Noir, and he's got these other artists that maybe I haven't heard of, this one artist, it gives me confidence in that artist. I trust
Mm.
Superior's taste, right? So it kind of, I know that he heard something and wanted to work with this artist. So it kind of introduces me to occasionally an artist that I was less familiar with. You recently dropped a project with an artist named Serial. Talk to us about that project.
Mm. Yeah, this is from my Argentinian fam, you know, because my parents they are from Spain, and of course I love um, rap in English, and this is my favorite, you know, my favorite language to listen to rap music. It was always I was only listening to American MCs and American music, and yeah, yeah, no doubt. So, but I always had like a dream, you know, to make a project in my language, in Spanish. So, and then yeah, and then I reached out to Serial, and I watched a video. The name of the video was Crime City, and it was like mind blowing. And hey, shout out to DJ Eras. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? So yeah. So then I reached him out, and he reminds me a little bit of Rock Marciano in Spanish. So, and Rock, he's one of my favorites, you know. And so, but he reminds me a little bit, but he has his own style. He's not like a biter, you know. He has his own style, and yeah. And then we made this Sons of Sibaris, and it's like a historical, you know, monumental. It's like a movie when, like Ben Hur, you know, Ben Hur or Gladiator, or yeah, because the Greek history, they got all this, you know, monumental stuff, and then I made this Sons of Sibaris, and I have to say that it's one of my best productions so far. The Sons of
Wow.
Sibaris.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was like yeah, this historical, this is monumental,
Yeah.
this style, yeah,
It's a dope
yeah,
album, and I love that sound also. I love that triumphant, big, you know, colossal. I
yeah,
love that sound.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's
Yeah,
dope. That's
I'm very
dope.
proud of this project. Yeah, and you know, he got a homie. He's from Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
His name is NA43, and we three we will now um, drop a project and on May 16.
Oh, soon.
Yeah, May
Oh, so this
16,
is
and
is this is your next project?
this is the next project. Yes, and the name of the album is Blood on Earth. You know, it's all about the history when Columbus, you know, he went, you know, to
Americas.
America,
He
and
discovered
then
it. He discovered it.
no. He destroyed, you know, he destroyed
I
all the
destroyed
Native
it. Yeah,
American,
he
and
destroyed it.
about
That's good.
yeah, yeah, it's about this story, you know, about this story, Blood on Earth.
Yeah.
Blood on Earth. It's all about this story when they killed all those Native Americans, and it's all about this, and it's also an incredible concept, and yeah, so I'm very proud of this too.
The
Yeah,
so um tell us so I this is such an interesting topic. Just a little bit about yourself first. So, you're in Germany, you're from Germany, but you said your parents are Spanish. So you grew up speaking Spanish also?
yeah, yeah.
Got it. So you speak
Always, every
Spanish,
day, every day in my
Spanish.
house, every day in my house, talking Spanish, you know, with my parents, and yeah, but I was born in raised in Germany, but you know, with my parents, every day in Spanish, and also, when it's summer, then
Go
I'll
to
uh,
Spain.
yeah, to Spain every year. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool, man. And so you speak perfect English. You speak
Mm.
Spanish. You speak German. Are there any other languages that you speak?
No, no, that's enough, man.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, I try to speak a little bit of French, but uh,
Yeah,
it doesn't work so good.
yeah,
So yeah.
and
But
and
I have
so
I have one homie. He's from the same area. No, from Spain. His name is DJ Eras. He lives in no. He used to live in Paris. Now he lives in the south. But he can learn. He can give me some lessons in French.
yeah, that's dope. And so that opens you up to so much because there's a big hip hop scene in Germany, right? So
Hmm.
there, and that's been established for a very long time. And then there's a massive hip hop scene and just urban music in general in the Spanish speaking world, right? So many countries, so many incredible artists, to include Spain, right? Spain has tremendous hip hop artists. And then obviously you speak English and are working with some of the best underground hip hop artists, to do it. So that's really cool how you, through different languages and your personal story, your personal background, you've opened up yourself as a producer to different hip hop worlds, which is
Yeah.
fascinating to me. So back, talking about the album that you did with this Argentinian rapper Serial. Did that open you up to Argentinian fans? Were you discovered, the same way that Ito opened you up, right, through working with him? Did that and working with an Argentinian rapper open you up to a different market?
Yeah. Sure. I have to say that Serial and also NA40, they also got a good fan base there in South America, and yeah, and it was like a introduction to South America, and that yeah, that was great, and but I have to mention that I also made a single with I would say the biggest rap legends in Germany. It's Sammy Deluxe. I
Yeah,
dropped the single on this January. On January, I dropped the single, and he's very, very, very well known in Germany. He's like Jay-Z in the States. Is Sammy Deluxe in Germany? Everybody knows him, and he's like the greatest. And I made a single with him too. So he opened the market, for Germany and Syria and in South America. And then I have my projects in the States. So I'm worldwide,
yeah, good,
you know.
completely global. How did the song with Sammy Deluxe, the biggest rapper in Germany, how did that song come together?
Uh, there is a MC. His name is Asolo, and yeah, and he's like a good homie from Sammy Deluxe. He's a good homie. And then he's also in Hamburg, where Sammy where he lives.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Hey, when you want, come to Hamburg, and I will introduce you to Sammy Deluxe." And I say, "Oh yeah, of course." Then then I went there to Hamburg, and he introduced me to him, and and then I showed him some beats, and there is one beat, like it's like this baroque style. You know what is baroque? This
Yeah.
this baroque style, and with all this, like instruments from Mozart and Beethoven and this, and I sent him a beat in that style, like a little bit of baroque, and then he was listening to the beat, and then he said, "Oh, he wants to make this single." And it was also an inspiration for him to make a tour with all these instruments, with violins, cellos,
Yeah, kind of like a
and
live orchestra type thing, but with hip hop.
Yeah. And he said that I was the inspiration for him to make this whole tour. It's a tour with I think like 25 cities, and almost sold out. And I gave him this inspiration to make this tour with this beat.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's really crazy.
It,
To give the biggest legend in Germany inspiration. It's unbelievable, but it is like it is.
yeah, that's dope. And what was it like because, like in Germany, Sammy Deluxe is a big deal, but he was probably impressed by, a lot of your production and the people you've worked with, right? That are legends in the United States.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
probably like, oh, okay.
yeah. He made also the research. He went to my catalog, and he said, okay. I know that one of his favorite artists is Stove God. He loves Stove God, and I told him, yeah, I got a project. Like it's just a mini project, just 2 tracks, but we have something together. And it was like, wow, you and Stove God, one project together. That's crazy.
It is.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah.
dope. That's dope.
Mhm.
There's an artist that you had shared with me that he was a big inspiration to you, and he passed away. But he meant something to you in your music and in your life. Can you talk to us about um, the impact that Ka had on you as a producer and how it inspired you?
Mm. I have to say that he he was my goat. His style was so unique. He has really his own style. It's really innovative what he does.
Yeah,
No copycat, nothing. Uh, his beats, all this drumless beats and all this atmosphere, it's the best. And how he, his emotions when he rhymes and all this, I love it. And also his attitude. He don't have so many features, and he don't work with so many people, because he said that he just worked with his close friends. And he also declined offers to work together with Sean Price. You can
yeah,
imagine that Sean Price he's asking you to work with you together, and you tell him, no man, I can't, we can't work together because you don't are one of my close friends, man. You know what I mean? So
it's a whole vibe. It's a whole lifestyle. It's a whole
it's incredible.
philosophy. It's a whole philosophy of artistry.
And he also, you know, I know that he was successful. I know that most of his records were sold out, but he said that he don't want to depend on the money, or with the art. He said, you never know, because his style was so specific, and he was working as a firefighter, with a regular job. And he said, because he wants the guarantee that his family can eat, and all this costs, that he can pay all this costs. And then he said, no, yeah, he could do this, to work, no, to live with the money from the music.
Yeah,
But I said no when this guy. But he was a real artist, and he don't care who you are. If you are not his friend, then I know so many people, they have him like like a goat, or people like Alchemist. I saw Alchemist's post. Yeah, hey, car, whoa. So them, but even Alchemist, he don't have a track with him. So
yeah.
if you was not a close friend with him, he would not work with you. And that's this is a really great attitude, man. This is so incredible. And yeah, he's um you know, I don't have words for this incredible, great artist. And you know, and when I heard about it, when he passed away, it was like 3 weeks. I did, you know, no beats, nothing. It was, for me, it was like 3 weeks. Hey, no, I don't want to make music. I, I, I need to be in this mood to make music, you know. And when something like this happened, you know, the my goat, you know, he passed away. I don't have the mood to make music. So how, you know? Because I'm sad and I'm thinking about, and I was listening to his songs again, and I was not in the mood to make this. So yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing all of that. He was a very special artist. Um, as a producer that is in high demand and who's worked with many of the great lyricists right now making music, what do you look for in an artist? You know, when you want to work with them, what is it? What attributes are you looking for? What do you think makes a great artist?
A great artist have to be unique first, and not a copycat, not just a, you know, same flow like everybody else. And no, that doesn't work, man. You have to be, you should have your own style, your own flow, your own lyrics, and you have to, you know, to this vision how to create an album, and not just to spitting rhymes and and most of the MCs, they don't have this um, they don't have this emotions what a beat needs. You know, the beats, they need some special emotions, specific emotions, like Che Noir on Destiny Rose.
Yeah,
When I made this beat, she nailed it 100% perfect, and it's the perfect emotion how to rap on this beat, on that beat that I made for Destiny Rose. And not so many people, they have this they don't know how to bring these emotions on these
yeah,
beats, you know. But she knows. She knows exactly how to, what emotions to bring on the beats. And but there are not so many, they you know, just spitting rhymes, blah, 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 listen to my bars, blah, blah, your punchlines, bumping, bump, 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 you know. But that's not enough.
yeah, yeah. It's the lyrics is one part of it. But
Mm.
the emotion captured through the voice, the tonality of the voice, the pain,
The
right? Or the
delivery,
emotion. Yeah,
yeah, the, yeah, the delivery, the emotion, and also with the lyrics, you know, and the atmosphere of the beat.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
That's dope. You know, you've worked with a lot of dope artists. Are there any artists that you'd really like to work with that, you know, that are out, that
Mhm.
are active, that hasn't happened yet, but that would be dope?
My my biggest, you know, like wish was to work with Ka. You know, I always mention him in the interviews. I don't know if there is another person who mentions so many times like I do. You know, because I mention him in all my interviews, and I did so many interviews, maybe 60, 70, 80 interviews, and I always mention him in all my interviews. And he was like, well, one day, you know, I will fly to the States, to Brownsville, Brooklyn, and I will and I will find him. But now, sadly, you know, it will not happen now anymore. So, but this was the biggest wish, you know, it was the big. But I have to say, one of my, also my favorite artists is Rock Marciano, of course, you know. And yeah, that would be incredible if he would one day, you know, if he just pick like a few beats, that would be really great. You know, I'm
Right.
not thinking about, okay, one project, a whole project there. Okay, this okay, that would be really, really crazy, but if you just pick a few beats, that would be also dope for me. And yeah, but of course, Rock Marciano. Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. I appreciate that, man. For the producers out there who listen to your music, who, know that there's talent and there's taste and there's all those things that make, something dope, but there's also equipment. If you could share with us, what you're producing on and maybe some of your workflow to help producers
Yeah.
understand, how you created, for instance, like Seeds in Babylon.
Mhm.
What are you using?
Well, I use the Machine Studio. This is my equipment, from the Native Instruments. Is the yeah and then I use a lot of old records, but I also make my research and also in the internet. I'm not lying, because most of the people they also look, for dope stuff, for dope samples also in the internet. But I try to find it to have the record, because if you have the record, it's really dope to listen to the record. My record player, I got two techniques, MK2 turntables, and I want to use them, and yeah, that's where I look first. But if I don't have the record, then like I said, I'll be in the internet, and yeah, and then I listen to the samples, and when there's something interesting, then then I start, and it also depends what 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 concept you have
Yeah.
for making the album, and I know the sources. If there is something like historical, like Babylon, then I know where I can get those samples. And when it's more like grimy, more like like a mafia movie, more like Scarface, something like Long Story Short, and I also know where I can get
Right,
the,
right.
the samples from.
Buckets of samples. You're like, get that over here. That one over
Yeah,
here.
yeah. If you look behind you, and then you know exactly. Okay, this is the source for this one. This is the source for that one. This is the source for this.
Yeah.
And it the same with the samples, because I listen to so much music, and yeah, I know where I get my samples from. Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
Mhm.
You mentioned you've got a project dropping in May.
Yeah.
If you could
Yeah.
talk to us, about that project, unpack it a little bit more, and then what else you've got coming next.
Okay. Yeah, like I mentioned that it's the Blood on Earth, the name of the album, May 16, with Sirio and NA43 from Argentinian. They are my Argentinian fam, and yeah, we will drop this one in March, and yeah, and I also have two 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 projects that I want to make it this year. Um, I want to make, or I already started to make a project with Ice Cold Bishop, the one who
Oh,
is featured on the Seats in Babylon, because I love his style. He's so different. I never heard an MC rapping like him before.
yeah.
He's very, very, very different. And the first time when I listened to him was on Boldy James Techno Bowl.
Yeah.
He's featured on Boldy James's album with Boldy James and Alchemist, and I like to work with people that are different,
Yeah.
and he's very, very different. And the other one is a new album with Vega 7 the Ronin. A new album with Vega. Yeah. These
That
are my
connection you guys got is incredible.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I love our project. This Sleep is the Cousin is also one of my favorites that I made. I love them all. I can't. The Ito album, Long Story Short, the balladas with ST Neg, the mini LP, with the Stove God, then the Sleep is the Cousin. I also like the one with Chase Keys, the Testament of the Times,
Yep.
and the one with Che Noir, of course.
Yeah.
And I love them all, and Sons of Sibaris, and yeah,
An amazing discography that you've put together. Is the Vega 7, the new Vega 7, is it like a part two, Sleep of the Cousin, or is it like a new album, new concept?
I would say new concept. I was thinking about to make maybe Sleep is the Cousin too, but I say no.
Because it's such a popular album, right?
Yeah.
Like, Vega 7 is such a big artist, right? And
Mm.
that's such a well-known album. It's like, I'm sure that made a lot of noise for you as a producer. That Vega 7 Superior, Sleep is the Cousin, boom. It's easy to do a
Yeah,
part two. It's easy
but
to do a part two. To
yeah,
do a brand new thing's dope too, though.
but you know what? Sleep is the Cousin. The concept of this album is all this thing about the samurai and Japanese culture, and yeah, if we would make Sleep is the Cousin too, we should also make it with this concept, this samurai and Japanese, and I don't know if we maybe want to make something different and
Yeah, I know what you're
not
saying.
just,
Like
yeah.
Sleep is the Cousin has a vibe. You have to respect the integrity of what you guys created. So if you do a part two, it has to be in that universe. But you got other things you want to do with Vega. So it's like, right, I understand.
Yeah. But like I said, I always want to make something new,
Yeah.
and I don't like to make stuff repetitive. So
Yeah.
but yeah, we will see. We will see, and it's easier to make a second part than to make something new.
Yeah.
Most of the artists, I have a successful first part. Now I make the second, and then I will
Part
make
two,
good
part
money, and
three.
and I make a part three, and because the number one was so successful, then I will make good money with part two and with part three, and
Well, you would.
and
Well, you
you
would though.
yeah, and you also have the concept, okay, I will take the same concept like the first part. I mean, and then make the second part. But I like to brainstorm, to make something new, to be creative, and not how to say to stuck,
Yeah.
on the same spot the whole time. I mean, you have to go forward and not to stay on the same spot. But but I don't know. But we will see. But now, if you ask me right now, I have in my mind to make something new. But maybe you know how it is. Today you have this in your mind, and maybe next week, hey, no, why not to make a second part? But yeah. So I would say it's like 70% something new, 30% to make a follow up.
Yeah. That's dope, bro. That's dope. You've taken us on a journey on the Che Noir album, Seeds in Babylon. You share with us upcoming projects, a new project dropping now in May. You share with us, how you've worked with artists in very different markets, South America, underground U.S. hip hop market, Sammy Deluxe, number one rapper in Germany. You're definitely hard at work with all of the new projects you have coming in 2025. As we start to wrap up, any gems that you want to share with folks?
Hmm. I would say with these two projects, if I really get finished this two project this year, then I'm very, very, very happy.
Yeah.
So, but you never know, because I don't know when I have clear in my mind what I want to do with Vega. I have in my mind what I want to do with Ice Cold. This is what I have it already in my mind.
Yeah.
So I think that will be the next project, because I already have everything in my mind for Ice Cold Bishop. But with Vega, I'm still thinking about it, but it would be really, really great if I can finish this too, and then I'm happy, and that's it. I don't need more projects this year. I'm very, very fine with this. And then I will work for releases for next year.
Yeah.
My goal is to start to work this year, preparing stuff for next year. But first of all, I have to finish these two projects, and that's a lot of work. But that's enough. I don't want more releases this year than this two.
Yeah.
You know, for preparing the stuff that I drop next year.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome.
Mm.
Superior, congratulations on an incredible project with Che Noir, Seeds in Babylon, an amazing discography that you've already created, and the new work coming with Vega 7, uh, Ice Cold Bishop, the joint that you're doing, dropping in May, right? Like very busy, very prolific schedule. It's been an honor building with you, bro.
You know, thank you. Hey, and shout out to Jam Honesty. He's there. He says Vega 7 and Superior Dope. Thanks so much. And Fikuru. Well, I don't know how to his name, Fikuru. He said Germany's finest. Thanks so much, man, for this props. Yeah.
Absolutely.
For
Absolutely.
everybody who's watching now, man. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for now and for later on when it's on YouTube. Superior, it's an honor to have you on the Cristopolis show, my bro. Salute.
Thank you. Peace. Thanks for the invite, man.
You're welcome. Peace.